I'm trying to see who all is there and trying to get my iPad to recognize that I'm live already. But I think internet might be slow here, and you just never know because we are in the country, and internet here is sometimes a little spotty. So you just never know. And here we go. Okay, so it is Monday, October 14th, and I am still working on market samples. I have one on the frame right now that I'm getting quilted. I really don't have time to do a lot of custom quilting because I'm just trying to tread water to keep everything going, and I fly out next Thursday. So, and I teach classes all this weekend at our local quilt show here in Spokane. So I don't have any time to do custom quilting. So I am trying to get all that done. And the roofers are supposed to come next week to work on my roof. So that will be done. I'm so excited to just have that done and out of the way. And the quote for this Monday, the Motivational Monday quote is, "The happiness of life depends on the quality of your thoughts." And how true is that? I mean, I am always talking about retraining our brain to think positive, don't let fear get in the way, believe in ourselves, all of those things. And I think that if we retrain our brain to not think of, worst case scenario all of the time, then we're probably going to be a little bit more happy, right? So I don't know who said that quote. There wasn't a name associated with it when sorry, I was looking up quotes, but I thought that resonated for today. And Rob and I worked, hi Lynn, good morning. Rob and I worked on the yard pretty much all weekend. I did some stuff in the studio at night. I got all the rest of the videos recorded for Homestead Patchwork, but I think we won't be doing any airing those until like maybe a Christmas in July. So along I have to like work out all of those details, but sorry, I don't know why I'm doing this. The line won't land until spring, so but I just wanted to get it out of the way because I had the quilt done, and typically once the quilt is done, it will go with my fabric company and it'll travel around to help promote the line. So I wanted to be able to do the videos while I had the quilt. And so now I'm working on the videos for Star Studded because I got that quilt done. I think when I got back from Sisters, maybe I was gone for some trip and I only had like a week to get it done before. No, it wasn't Sisters. It was something else. It was when I went and I had a bunch of guild things in the spring, and then I had like a week to get my star-studded quilt done and get it shipped off for the next show for my fabric company. So I didn't have time to do the videos. And those have to start dropping in January. So I got the quilt hung yesterday. I have all of the step outs done, and I'm hoping to do 3 videos a day this week to just get those done and out of the way before, because I am teaching and then I only have a couple days of work next week before I leave to market. So if I can just get those out of the way and get them sent off to my editor, then that part is done. And so that is my goal for this week, to get all of that done. And I need to print off a lot of patterns and get them folded for market samples, and just a lot of kind of busy packing work. And yeah, so Rob still has quite a chunk of stuff to do. But we did get the chicken coop winterized, and I got all of the last of the harvesting of the garden done. So all of my onions that were left and rhubarb, my herb garden. That's always like the sad thing, to clip out everything from my herb garden, because we're going to get a freeze this week and I didn't want to lose all of them. But I love in the summertime going out and just clipping the fresh herbs and everything that I need for my cooking. And I just love, when I'm canning and whatnot, that I can just go out and clip all of the fresh herbs that I need for my canning stuff. So yeah, it's always kind of a sad thing to get that last harvest. But good morning, Stephanie. So what else? What else do I have going on this week? Oh, I am doing another video because in December my egg cartons land for Chicken Scratch that have the 12 fat quarters, and this is the free pattern that goes with it. It's a table runner and 4 placemats, so you can make it if you get 1.5 yards of background and then use the 12 fat quarters in the egg cartons. You can make this table runner and 4 placemats. And that includes the binding. We use fat quarters for the binding as well. So I'm making those samples, and I'm going to do a video that will land in December. So because that's when the egg cartons land. So when the egg cartons land, I'll have a video to go with this free pattern, but you can download this free pattern anytime. And so I'm getting that sample done because I only get a limited amount of sample yardage of my line before it lands. And so I sort of have to pick and choose the samples that I'm get to make. And so the priority goes to whatever the main quilt is that the fabric company chooses to promote the line. So for Chicken Scratch, it was star-studded, and I also had enough to do the Little Pink Homestead quilt, so I was thankful for that. And what was the other quilt? Oh, Grand Finale. Those 3 quilts were the priority, and then anything that's left over I can use for other samples. But most of the time I don't have enough of anything, and typically it might be a background fabric or something. And in fact, I didn't have enough background fabric to use one of my own backgrounds for these placemats, so I'm just using a plain white. I would have preferred to use my own fabrics, but it just it won't work out. And I want to have some of those videos out when the yardage lands so that you guys can just get straight to work and have all of those tools on hand when it becomes available. Because, I don't know, I'm impatient, so I don't want to wait for that. And so I know that a lot of you don't either. So so yeah. we have also been letting the chickens out. They have like a really large yard area, but they have decided that they really love my rhubarb patch when we let them out to free range, because I would rather them free range. But they are just destroying my rhubarb patch. And so since I harvested the last of the rhubarb, I've been letting them out. And so every time I leave the barn and go to the house or go out to do anything, I have a herd of chickens, a flock of chickens. It's really a flock of chickens following me everywhere I go, which just kind of cracks me up because I don't know. I think they think that I keep little grubbies in my pockets or something. So they think they're going to get a treat every time I walk out somewhere, which they don't, but it's pretty funny to watch them. Um, but yeah. So, what else do we have going on this week? I have lots of meetings. I have a big meeting on Wednesday that um, I don't know. I made a big pitch to a big company, and I have already had one meeting with them, one interview, and they wanted to have another interview at market, but then they scheduled this meeting in between. And I'm hoping, since I didn't get a big fat no, that it's good news, but we'll see. It was a big ask, and um, I kind of shared a little bit about that because I decided to do it right after I left the Garden of Quilts. Jenny Doan had given me some advice about putting myself out there more, and, basically telling me that, you know, basically I need to believe in myself more. And so I am doing that. And I hope I don't fall a big fat fall on my face. Um, but I've just learned that even if it is a no, that it's okay. And I am rejected all of the time. I really am. I mean, I think looking at the outside of, a designer is completely different than um seeing what we go through all of the time, right? Because nobody shares when they get rejected. Oh, I've been rejected for the 35th time this month, but we just share all of the things that we have been accepted for, because why would you promote, oh, here, I was rejected for this, but so and so got the job that I wanted, or these three designers got chosen, not me, or whatever. Like, nobody does that. So you just kind of move on and don't pay attention to like whatever's happening. At least for the most part, I don't. I mean, there might be something, I guess, but the nature of the business is that you just get rejected all the time. And so last week I spent 2 full days on my computer. Like, I spend a few hours at least every day on my computer, answering emails, doing all of the busy work that you have to do as a designer. And but I just get behind. It's just, there's too much computer work to, even if you spend 2 to 3 hours a day on the computer, there's just too much to get done in that amount of time. And so inevitably every month I have to spend 2 days just doing nothing but computer work. And I've literally sat there from 8 o'clock in the morning until, you know, 10 o'clock at night. And I take a break for, lunch and dinner. Not a huge break, mind you, but I do. And so I had to do that for 2 days last week, which always kind of jumbles up everything else because of quilting and whatever. But you just have to do that because you have all these deadlines and, things that go on. And I love it when I can get my inbox to zero, that, oh my gosh, I've finally answered everything. I've turned in everything that I need to turn in. And I always feel this like huge sense of accomplishment because those things just kind of um, add up and then weigh on you, but a lot of times those email days, computer days are the days that I have to submit for projects and deadlines. And, I get stuff in my inbox all of the time. But if I don't have time to do it and I don't meet the deadline, then I miss an opportunity. And I miss a lot of opportunities because I just don't have time to be on the computer all of the time. And I felt really good because last week I was able to submit to some of those things, and I've already had some things accepted, and that like renews my spirit a little bit to say, okay, Chrisma, you do need to just take time to do that because it really is important. And I say that because a lot of the things that we do now are really for, like, in the quilting industry as a designer, we work so far ahead. So it could be 6, 8, 12 months, sometimes even more than that. I'm working on a huge project that, we won't even launch until next fall. And I've been working on it for since the summer. And, I don't know, it's just a lot of things you work on now for the future, and you don't know if it's going to pay off. I mean, like designing fabric for one thing. Live Boldly was designed in what year is it? It's 2024. It was designed in like January or February, no, February of 2022. No, sorry, 2023. And it didn't land until March of 2024, right? So you have like over a year from start to finish of, how it all lands. And so it's just, yeah, some things just move really slowly, and we have to diversify so many things because things do move so slowly. And um you don't know what is going to make money and what isn't. So you kind of always have to have a steady stream of lots of projects going because, um, there's so many duds, basically. Nobody knows what's going to strike gold and what's going to be a dud. There's plenty of times where I put out a quilt design and I absolutely love it. I think it's amazing and I'm so proud of it, and I get so excited and I want to make it, and nobody else likes it. And then there's just something that, like, I put a design out several years ago and I thought, "Oh, whatever. It's not really that great." Um, and it wasn't that it wasn't that great, it just wasn't, like, something that excited me a lot. It was, like, a pre-cut project, and I just thought, "I'm just gonna put this out there because I have the sample done, and, why waste it?" Basically was my feeling on it, and it's been one of my best-selling patterns. So, and when you talk to other designers, they sort of all have the same thing. You put this quilt out that you just don't even think twice about, and it goes bonkers. And then one that you're really excited about just falls flat. And it's like nobody knows, So you just kind of, I always say, I learned this from my art teacher in high school, is that you make, and this is just my version of what she was teaching us because I don't remember her exact verbiage, but basically, I make art to feed my belly, and then I create art to um, feed my creativity. Like, I want to put this out into the world because I love it so much, but then I have to put a certain amount of art out into the world to feed my belly. So, to feed the creativity and to feed your belly. And so that's kind of how I think about it. And, it just kind of all works out. But so that's just, I guess, part of being a creative is that, you know, we have to kind of make some choices, diversify our income streams, and figure it out. But, um, and we constantly have to learn new things. So, like, I'm learning all this stuff about YouTube, trying to figure out how to build all of that we have to wear so many hats and learn so many things. I had to do that with social media because I didn't have a social media when I started designing, and that was like such a big thing that every company asked for. And so I spent years building up my Instagram, and now I'm working on my newsletter and my YouTube, and putting a lot of energy and focus into those things. And I don't know what is going to happen with all of those things. I just work it, try to figure it out. And, I'm not an expert in anything. The only thing that has gotten me this far really is the fact that I'm a hard worker, and I, you know, push out a lot of designs. And I just work within my strengths. So I know what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. I meet every deadline. I um, try to work with people, and you know, I don't try to ruffle any feathers. Like, I'm not going to be a diva and walk into some company and, you know, demand this or that. Like, I think that that's crazy, and I don't want to work with anybody like that myself. So I'm not going to be that way either. And I've been to some shows, I'll say, with some designers like that, and I'm just like utterly stunned because I don't know. I know how fragile the business is and how easily it can be taken away from us for any sort of reason. Like, I mean, you could just have a bad season, and not sell anything. And I don't know. I guess I'm not saying that I'm not confident, but I just realize the fragility of all of that. And I just don't take any uncalculated risks. But I really do feel like the business is just like any other business, in the fact that if you do what you say you're going to do, you meet your deadlines, you work hard, good things will happen for you. And I know that I'm not the most talented person. I know that I'm not the most business savvy person. Like, I know all of these things. Like, I know how to stay in my lane. But I just work hard. I put my nose to the grindstone, and I just do it, like whatever it is, and figure it out. And there have been tears along the way of, I don't know how to do this. Like, why did I get myself into this? Or, whatever. But so, I hire out the things that I know that I'm going to struggle with, or that I don't want to spend my time doing, because that's really not a good use of my time. Why would I spend all of this time learning how to edit videos when it's really not my cup of tea? I mean, I do my own reels and, that sort of thing, and I have Adobe in my phone and that, but is that really where I wanna spend hours of my time when I know that I'm a good designer and I can make a quilt sample in that amount of time? Probably not. I'd rather pay the college kid that needs the money to do that, and, we both win, and, it works out. So, um, I don't know. I I constantly have to kind of make those decisions and work that out. But the tried and true things of business, I think, just apply really to all of that. Do you guys have any questions? Um, I w- I'm drinking my coffee. It's just like berry creamer. I'm like not this I'm not like a real coffee drinker, I should say. Like, I would never order black coffee, or, I only like the like kind of foo-foo coffee, I should say, but I will cold brew some, and I have some creamers that I just bought. But I I will not go and spend $5 on a coffee every day. Like, my daughter does that, and I am just like way too practical. Well, first of all, I don't leave the house enough to do that anyways, but I just can't do that because I'm way too practical. And I think about, oh my gosh, 5 times 30, like, no, I can't. That is my, some sort of payment somewhere. But I'll buy coffee and, you know, brewed at home sometimes. And I love the pumpkin spice creamer that comes out this year. And I typically don't drink coffee regularly enough to, like, go through a creamer that fast, but I bought some and I went through it and I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna make." I would happen to be in town and I'm like, "I'm gonna go to the store just to get another pumpkin spice creamer because I know that it's gonna sell out." And it was already sold out. And we only have like one store in town. I'm not driving to Spokane to go get creamer, but I was just like, dang, I really should have bought two, but I just wanted to like have a little bit. Anyways, so that is like a indulgence, sort of a thing. But now I'm just back to my normal berry creamer. So it's like so sad. Lynn says, what is your Christmas line called? It's called Holiday Homestead. And I've been putting some videos out. I had my video editor even animate the panel that goes with it. And oh my gosh, that just makes me unbelievably happy. I love watching that. Yeah, so I'm launching it at Market next week. And so shops can order it and then it will land, I believe, in April. At first they told me June, but I think they've moved it up to April now. So it should be in shops in April. And of course, I'll have kits and whatnot here of the patterns that I've designed, but I don't cut like single cuts of yardage. I'll just have bundles of my lines that will include like chicken scratches coming out, and I'll have like 1 yard, half yard, and fat quarter bundles of the whole collection, and then kits for anything that I've designed for it. And then I'm going to have the egg cartons, of course. But other than that, I don't do single yard cuts. I don't have staff to manage, here I'll take 1 yard of this or 1 yard of that and fulfill that kind of orders on a daily basis. So I just kind of leave that for the quilt shops to do. They can offer that service because I don't have staff. I can't afford staff and I can't spend my time doing that all day long. So I just, when the yardage comes in, I have my daughter-in-laws or, someone come in, a friend, help me cut all of the yardage up, create, bundles of everything. Rob will help me too. And cut all the kits. And then, we'll just, keep those in stock as needed. But we have like a week of just cutting and getting all of that done. And then I just keep them in inventory, but I can't like pay for someone to come in daily and start doing that kind of stuff. So that's how I manage all of that. And then I don't think I can say yet, but I think for the most part, I just have to finalize some colors, but I have a kind of a fun little line coming out with or near the same time as the Christmas line will land. But I did this fun little thing and I'm excited about it. So I'll share more of that as I'm allowed, but pretty fun. And I'm still waiting for my Quilt Folk issue to arrive. It still has not gotten here. I did see someone commented yesterday on my Instagram that they got their copy. And they liked the story, but I still have not gotten my copy, and I'm just like anxiously awaiting to see what pictures made the cut, like how it all turned out. And so impatiently waiting. I even um, sent a message to Scott Hansen over at Blue Nickel Quilts because he's in the issue too and we're friends. And I'm like, "Have you gotten yours yet?" He's like, "No." He's like, "But it's worth the wait, I promise." Because he has every issue of Quilt Folk. He loves Quilt Folk, but he's also in the Washington issue as well. And so anyway, we're both sort of waiting. I'm more impatient than he is, apparently. So, but he's on the west side of the state and I'm on the east side of the state. So the first time we met in person was at Sisters because we were both teaching there. And it's so hard when you go to a show like that because everybody's so busy. We're teaching all day. And then, for him, he's been there for so many years. And so he knows everybody and it's like a big reunion. And so we sort of like saw each other in passing. Oh, and like I think we had a dinner where we kind of sat, like all the designers were there. And so you kind of like sit and then talk to everybody and whatever. So we didn't get a whole lot of time together to, talk and compare notes and that sort of thing. Cause there's also like activities every night, the same things, that everybody else is doing. But he was also a part of some of those things. So he was like, hosting and that sort of thing. It's kind of like when I go to Garden of Quilts. I have been there so many years and so you get together with all the designers and you you know have dinners and do all this stuff and it's really like a really great part of the trip is going. And I mean, of course I love teaching and being a part of the show and all of that, but being with other professionals that do what you do is really fun to learn from them, compare notes, do all that stuff. And then, some of those people I might only see that one time every year. So it is like a reunion. And I've met such really great people there. And so I don't know, just fun, just the the good part of like having to travel and do that kind of thing. So well, I've rambled on about a lot of stuff this morning, and I think that it's time to probably get to work because I do have some meetings today and getting everything ready for all of the classes and all of the quilting and all of the stuff that we have to get done. But if we, where is my little quote? The happiness of life depends on the quality of our thoughts. So let's leave with that. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful week. And thank you so much for joining me and being a part of this experience. Thanks. Bye.